You and I have both experienced that pain. You strive for your justice, and I strive for mine.
And what's going on, Read My Lips people? We are back. Back like we ain't ever left, baby. So, of course, I've got some more Yang news for you. But how's everyone doing? How are we feeling today? We feeling good? We feeling fine? We feeling great? That's really what matters, is that y'all are feeling good. I know it's been tough. I know times are tough. But if we can all stick together and we can all show each other some of that Yang Gang love. And if you're non-Yang Gang and you're watching this, welcome. Welcome to my channel.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are you?
So first things first. I saw it floating about, and whenever something like this happens, I always give a shout out. Everyone knows I give a shout out, even if it's something minuscule, and I feel a lot of people might not know who these people are. I got to give them a shout out because I appreciate it, right? I commented on Mr. Beast. I commented on Jeffree Star. I commented on Ethan Klein. And so now it's my turn to comment on Kourtney Kardashian, who shouted out and donated to Humanity Forward. Like I was saying in my last video, referring to Project 100, when celebs get in on this thing and they support it, it spreads even more. I'm telling you guys, because like I said, the example I gave yesterday, if I were to go to the barbershop and there were new people in there, I almost guarantee ask them, do you know who andrewyang is? Do you know about andrewyang? They're going to say no. But I ask them, you know who Ronnie is? They're going to say, hell yeah, I know who Ronnie is. So, love him or hate him, watch their show or not, Kourtney Kardashian shouted out Humanity Forward. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been in her page trying to yang her already. Yo, let's get Scott Disick to shout out Humanity Forward. I've always been a Scott Disick fan. I've always liked Scott Disick. He's an asshole, but he plays it so well. So I've always been a Scott fan. What up, Scott? So I just wanted to acknowledge that and, just shout it out. Shout out Kourtney Kardashian. And while I'm on the subject, Kourtney's not the only Kardashian doing some good stuff. I'm going to give you a shout out to Khloe Kardashian is also doing some stuff. So Khloe Kardashian, I'm getting them confused already. That's it. I'm old.
You kids, get off my lawn.
So Khloe Kardashian, a couple days ago, paid for, I think she went to Trader Joe's. And she paid for all the elderly customers' groceries and the employees too during this virus situation, during this pandemic that we're in. And that needs to be acknowledged too. Whenever someone's doing something nice like that, something that, that they quite frankly don't have to do, when they have more than others and they can help people out, good on you, man. Good on you. So shout out to Khloe Kardashian. Shout out to Kourtney Kardashian. Again, regardless of how you feel about them, regardless if you watch their show or not, good is good. And God damn it, this was good. And shout out to TMZ for shouting it out about what Khloe did, because a lot of places ignored it, but they were on the money. TMZ's always there. I think Batman, when he uses his Bat computer, his supercomputer, it's got to be hooked up to TMZ's office as well.
Your cousin just torched $50,000 worth of custom hardware. Send me the bill. On a reporter's salary. Right.
TMZ is always on the money. They're always there. They always got the scoop like ice cream. I'm telling you. So, on to other news. andrewyang had an interview with Yahoo Finance. And it's about a 9-minute interview. And quite frankly, I'm going to pretty much play the interview in its entirety because it's short enough that you guys can get through it. And it's Andrew Yang. It's Andrew Yang. Who doesn't want to hear Andrew Yang talk? So I think it's a pretty dope interview. Take a listen to that interview, and then we're gonna come back.
Hope you can hear me.
Thumbs up? Yes.
All right, fantastic. Now, Project 100 is the largest philanthropic direct cash transfer in our nation's history. And the fact is, this stimulus that we've been receiving, at least many of us have been receiving, is not enough. Where if you got $1,200 after essentially a month of quarantine, you're paying off last month's bills, and then this month and next month's bills are right around the corner. Most people have had their incomes either eliminated or reduced or impacted, or at a minimum are facing greater uncertainty. So the fact that philanthropists have stepped up to put money directly into the hands of tens of thousands of struggling American families is the right thing to do. We need to have the stimulus check not be a one-time thing, but make it predictable and monthly for the duration of this crisis.
Hey, Andrew, nice to see you. When you think about the duration of this crisis, of course, when you were running for president, you had said for forever, right? For people to be able to receive the universal basic income, or the freedom dividend, as you called it, kind of in perpetuity. When you think about Congress right now, as we understand it, Ro Khanna and Tim Ryan have both put a number on that, saying that we should be paying Americans $2,000 per month for the duration of the crisis, plus perhaps additional down the future. Do you believe that Congress is capable of passing something for perhaps longer post-pandemic?
I think Congress is very capable of that, because that's what the American people want. I saw a poll that just came out that said the majority of Americans in both parties want to have the stimulus extend for the duration of the crisis. And I think that Ro Khanna and Tim Ryan's bill says that they should extend until the economy is back to pre-crisis levels. The brutal truth is that many of these millions of jobs that we've lost are not coming back. Macy's furloughed most of its 130,000 employees. How many employees do you think they're really going to hire back in 6 months, 8 months? So Ro Khanna, Tim Ryan, and the other legislators have it 100% right that we should make these payments indefinite until we're back on our feet. And that might not be for a very long time. I do think we should just do this in perpetuity. We can 100% afford it. And the money is going to go right back into our local communities, into Main Street businesses, bars, restaurants, daycare, Little League signups. That's what the American people are going to want, because we're getting this money right now. And I have a feeling that most Americans are very, very excited to see those payments in their bank accounts.
And then thinking about the philanthropic side of things, of course, you've teamed up, you have Humanity Forward as well, pushing this initiative to help supplement these incomes. But just thinking about people like Jack Dorsey, right, who has committed, in addition to other COVID-related things, to investing in the future of UBI. Have you been in talks with him? Is there any way that you can support him and his endeavors?
I'm happy to say that Jack and I have been in touch, and he's committed to seeing the country and the world through this crisis, but he's also committed to a vision of universal basic income, because he sees very clearly what the future holds for millions of Americans' livelihoods. So this is here to stay. Universal basic income is going to be on the national agenda this year, and people like Jack and me and Ro Khanna and Tim Ryan are going to keep pushing this. I also just want to say, on a personal note, thank you, Melody, because you're one of the first journalists that interviewed me when I was running for president, back when the Yang Gang wasn't really a thing. So just wanted to express my thanks to you.
Andrew, hi, Rick Newman here. I'm disappointed you're not wearing your math pin for our audience to see. Maybe you've got it on your jacket off to the side or something.
I do, it's over there.
I want to ask you about your plan to pay for UBI. If I recall correctly, you proposed a 10% value-added tax as the financing mechanism. I mean, how do you see that even being plausible? Would that require Democratic control of Congress? And even then, it seems hard that you could get some moderate Democrats to vote for that. How do you see that happening?
When I was campaigning and I said, hey, Amazon, $1 trillion tech company, paying zero in taxes, does that seem right to you? Americans on both sides of the aisle don't think that that's appropriate. Starbucks, same thing. Netflix, same thing. And you can go to the most pro-business Republican and say, Amazon paying zero taxes, thumbs up, and they will say, no, that's not right. So there is bipartisan consensus around a need to get money into Americans' hands, but there's also bipartisan consensus that our most successful companies should be paying more than zero in taxes. Now, my mechanism, as you described, was a value-added tax, in part because it would harness the gains from the biggest winners in our economy, and it's impossible to, frankly, wriggle your way out of. You can't offshore it. You can't do all of these shell games that many of the big multinationals are expert at. So I'm very, very confident that we're going to see that putting money into people's hands is good for the economy, and that we can pay for it, in part because the money doesn't disappear after it comes into our accounts. It goes right back into our local economy, creates jobs, creates new tax revenue.
Andrew, it's Adam Shapiro. I was curious if you've crunched the numbers on the immediate crisis. Would it be a better use of the funds that we keep replenishing PPP and we have these stimulus programs and $60 billion for the airlines to put a kind of national stop, if possible, on pay, and then have the federal government just send everybody $1,000 or a figure to cover food and essentials till we get past the 3-month period? Would that be cheaper than what we're doing?
This is a great observation, Adam. And one of the things that I think we missed the boat on is that the government should have suspended many payments and actually become the buyer. If you can imagine the government saying to landlords, hey, your tenants aren't paying, we're going to pay. And then you could essentially suspend the economy, give us all enough money so that we can pay for our basic needs, and then restart the economy when it's appropriate. The problem right now is that our government is trying to get money into the hands of small businesses and individuals and big businesses and schools and hospitals. And then there are bottlenecks in that process, where if you have millions of people going to their state unemployment offices, filing for unemployment, they're just on hold over and over again. And our offices aren't set up to serve that many people that quickly. It would have been much more effective for us to do what you just suggested, which is just say, look, send the government the invoice, don't bother your tenants, your payees, your small businesses. We just pay everyone enough to survive. That would have been a better approach. We missed that window. And right now we're falling victim to the fact that our bureaucracies are not set up to process payments at this scale this quickly.
Andrew, it's Julie again. I want to ask you about the presidential election, switch gears a little bit. There is a poll that came out today from CNBC that said President Trump and Joe Biden are in a deadlock in 6 key states. So when it comes to you, I wanted to ask you what the Yang Gang's up to. I mean, this was sort of a famously mobilized support block for you during the primary. What are they doing now in terms of supporting Biden, and how effective do you think grassroots support is going to be for him in the election?
There was a poll that came out before I suspended that said 42% of my supporters would not support the Democratic nominee in the general. And this to me is the crucial block that Joe has to win over in order to win in those 6 states and around the country. And so to me, the Yang Gang can play a pivotal role where we shore up this swing group, but also young digital natives. The fact is, Joe is weaker on the internet than Trump, and we can potentially help Joe with that. I am 100% committed to defeating Donald Trump in the fall and helping Joe in any way I can. And I don't think that 100% of the Yang Gang is going to come with me on that. But I think if we can turn the dial up so that greater than 58% of them do, we can be the difference maker in Joe's victory this fall.
Andrew, I know there was some confusion after you went on the Breakfast Club and mentioned that Biden said you would have a cabinet position if you did endorse him. Can you give us an update there? Do you have a role in the administration if you want it? What's the status?
You know, Joe and I have just had general conversations. There's never been anything even remotely official. But Joe has said that we need all hands on deck, and I agree with him. Certainly, I want to serve the country, and I've been very open over and over again that if that's as part of an administration, then I would take that opportunity.
Okay, so Andrew Yang tweeted something out, and it's something that I view as incredibly important because what I've seen, a lot of people on social media, people on friends lists of mine that I try to hammer some sense into, but are still hard-headed anyway, that wasn't worried about the virus and saying they're young. And I still, to this day, I still see people arguing like, it only affects the elderly. It's just the elderly. The virus can cause sudden strokes in young adults with no underlying symptoms. So the virus appears to be causing sudden strokes in adults in their 30s and 40s who are otherwise not ill, doctors reported Wednesday. They say patients may be unwilling to call 911 because they have heard that hospitals are overwhelmed by the cases. There's growing evidence that the virus infection can cause the blood to clot in unusual ways, and stroke would be an expected consequence of that. Dr. Thomas Oxley, a neurosurgeon at Mount Sinai Health Systems in New York, and colleagues gave details of multiple people they've treated. All were under the age of 50 and all had either mild symptoms of the virus infection or no symptoms at all. The virus seems to be causing increased clotting in the large arteries, leading to severe stroke. Our report shows a 7-fold increase in the incidence of sudden stroke in young patients during the past 2 weeks. Most of these patients have had no past medical history and were at home with either mild symptoms or in 2 cases, no symptoms of the virus. All tested positive, 2 of them delayed calling an ambulance. Other doctors have also reported that people are reluctant to call 911 or go to the ER because of the pandemic. It is not common for people so young to have strokes, especially strokes in the large vessels of the brain. So, look, I read this and I tell you this because I want you guys to take this serious. I want you guys to take it serious. And I don't want it to have to hit home for people to finally take it serious. I don't want it to be at your doorstep for you to finally to be like, oh, this is a thing. This is oh, okay. I don't want it to have to come to that. Again, I know 3 people that have passed away from having this. Okay? And none of them were in their 50s. So, what is it? Georgia, Atlanta is about to open back up. Really? Atlanta is about to just fully open back up? First of all, there's a high African American population over there. What are they, test subjects? And you're goofy if you're excited about being opened back up already. What are you, lab rats? Are you kidding me? How many more deaths are going to come until you're satisfied? If you're in Georgia, if you're in Atlanta, and you're happy to be opening back up this early, I got news for you. They ain't doing it because it's safe. Insanity. And then, was it the mayor of Vegas is talking about, yeah, let's just open it back up. Let's just pop Vegas back up. Let's just turn the lights on, open the casinos. We need that tourist action. So wait a minute, pause. Pump your brakes. So you want everybody from all over to start coming back into Vegas again? To fill the hotels up and to fill the casinos up? Did you pay to be this stupid? Did you pay someone to make you this stupid? Because this is incredible. It just goes to show, man, and I've said it and I'll keep saying it in every video if I have to. They don't care about you, so care about yourself. Fight against this BS, man. They don't care about you. Look at it. We need more money coming into Vegas. We need to, come on. If you've convinced yourself that The only way this virus is going to affect you is if you're in your 60s. Boy, oh boy, they got another thing. You got another thing coming. Take this serious. Take it serious. When has Trump ever gave great advice? If Trump is thinking we should open early, your immediate thought should be, oh no, we shouldn't be opening up early. Crazy. Crazy. Yeah, the mayor of Vegas wants to open back up. Atlanta is about to open back up. Large population of African Americans, and they're going to be running around just a COVID party. Yeah, let me get a big, tall glass of COVID. Hold the ice.
So the way James Bond has it, James Bond, shaken, not stirred. And you just strain it into the glass. Nice and clear, super cold drink. I like to pour it from a height just for extra.
Come on now. Come on. We got to do better than that. Nobody finds that funny? Nobody finds that interesting? So I just wanted to bring you the Yang interview with Yahoo. And shout out to the Kardashians. Courtney for donating to Humanity Forward. Chloe for paying for everybody's food and meals over at Trader Joe's. And just use some discretion when going outside and when thinking, yeah, let's open back up. Rethink it, because it's giving people strokes. None of them are older people. None of them had underlying health conditions. Okay? So just be safe, guys. That's all I ask, is for you guys to be safe. So, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please like, comment, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Just hip thrust that like button. If you don't, let me know why. I'm always down to talk about it. I have a Cash App, a PayPal, and a Venmo link in the description below. Please feel free to donate to the channel. Every little bit helps. Also, I have the Read My Lips Facebook page as well. I mean, besides my personal one, I have the Read My Lips page as well. I'm going to put that down in the link with everything else now, so you can, if you wanted to check that out and like it and subscribe to the Facebook page as well, you can do that. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys soon. Have a good one. Peace.
No need